Do you love the voice inside my head, or are you sick? You do like the voice inside my. How do you feel about that?
It's in my new song. I have a song we just put out called "Losing My Mind" off of Angels and Airways. In the last chorus, it says this voice in my head. I actually put it in there. It's YEAD. I love it. It's funny. Like, I get it.
The voice inside my head. It's cool that he's aware of that. Anyway, Ego and Vice, episode 88.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South TV, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago. Well, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk away.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh my god, I almost choked to death in the first 1 second. I'm good, thank you. My name's Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 88. Thanks for stopping by. Top of the morning. It's actually 10 after 8 at night, but, this is show business. It could be whatever you want it to be, whatever I want it to be. And I say it's top of the morning. Feels morningish. It's got to be morning somewhere. So let's go with that. How am I doing? I'm doing. Just working a lot and trying to go out and enjoy the nice weather, which usually consists of snow and cold winds. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? Springtime. You know what the problem with springtime is? At least fall's pretty. Spring's just gray, drab. It's kind of a bummer. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. So just been writing some music. Looking forward to some new music coming out. I'm working on the new Goat EP by myself. Might have some guest performers on that one. New Riptides stuff is in the works. Got some shows coming up in the summer, and shit's finally kind of starting to move. I hope. Provided the world doesn't fucking implode again. Which, I don't think it will, but I'm optimistic. That's who I am. Mask mandate's gone. I've been still wearing the mask, as I've said before. I still wear it. Choosing my battles. Just being smart. Common sense, people. Just have some fucking common sense. That's all I'm saying. It is nice going out, though, and sitting in a bar or a restaurant, drinking my zero beer, mind you, anyone who was keeping tabs on me. But either way, it's gonna be a good summer. It's gonna be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm feeling excited. Anyway, I have a guest on the show today. He is on for a second go around. Like I said, season 5, I wanted to touch base with some people who had been on the podcast previous. Touch base Pandy, whatever you prefer, and see how they've been. His name is Anndy Negative. He is in a band called Anndy Negative, and he's awesome. He's an awesome dude. Met him, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, and we have always gotten along. And he is a super talented guy. And he writes really creative, really fun stuff. And he's very active as Anndy Negative on social media. All the big sites like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, just to name a few. I'll leave a link when I post the podcast so you can check out all his stuff. And make sure you do check it out because it's definitely worth a look and a listen because he's a super talented guy, super nice guy, super creative guy, and he deserves more credit for as hard as he works. That's right. So we're going to play a song and we're going to come back with Anndy Negative on Ego and Vice episode 88. This is When We Were Young.
When we were young, we were promised the world, but all we got was this t-shirt. When we were young, they said to shoot for the moon, but now we're stuck up in the atmosphere and everything's gone to shit. Rewind the tape and play it back again. Let's do this from the start. We are the princes and princesses of the glory days. We were raised on a train. We are strong and beautiful. I don't care what they say. Even if we're penniless, still look like royalty to me. When we were young, we didn't ask them for anything, but we got a world full of problems. When we were young, they said that we could be anything we want. Well, we want to have a good time. Is that too much to ask? Rewind the tape and play it back again. Let's do this one more time. We are the princes and princesses of the glory days. We were raised on a train. We are strong and beautiful. I don't care what they say. Even if we're penniless, still look like royalty to me. Month to month and we're giving it all we've got, even though our attention spans are shot. We are the princes and princesses of the glory days. We were raised on a train. We are strong and beautiful. I don't care what they say. Even if we're penniless, still look like royalty. Princes and princesses of when we were young, princes and princesses of when we were young, princes and princesses of when we were young, still look like royalty to me.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Andy, how are you?
Hey, buddy. Mike,
Yeah.
how you doing?
It's Mike. It's a Monday. No, it's a Saturday. No, what day is it? It's Friday morning.
I think it's Friday.
It is a Good Friday.
I think I see what you did there.
So if my brain's not as sharp and as alert, if it's a little soggy, it's because it is Monday. I'm kind of a morning person. Actually, I am a morning person. I do
that's
the
good.
morning because it's like a brand new day. What about you?
I've become a bit more of a morning person in the past little bit. Definitely a lot of coffee though.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing. And mornings to me I'm probably my most ambitious in the morning.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like I'll wake up and I'll start planning like what I'm gonna have for dinner, and it kind of goes from there.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm just like,
You plan like the end of your day, right at the beginning of your day.
yeah, but I eat a lot, so it's just like it's one of those like simple pleasures
Okay.
in life, right? So I think like, what am I gonna eat tonight and stuff like that, and then
I
it
like
just kind of snowballs from there into the rest of my day. I say when I hit about 2:00, I'm like burnt. I'm like, I don't want to think anymore. But yeah, I get lots done in the
that's
morning.
fair.
I don't know, but like I've said on the podcast, since I like quit drinking and stuff, my mornings are much more alert and much more crisp, if you will.
Oh, I fully agree with that. It's like, it's so wild to wake up every single day and not be feeling like shit from the night before.
Yeah. So I checked my calendar and I'm like 109 or 107 days, I believe, or 8 days today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know.
Congratulations.
It was
Big
pretty
claps
good
for you, buddy.
I stopped. I just drank beer and stuff, but it was like it got to a point, especially during the pandemic, being just like kind of isolated and home all the time. It just became like kind of a bad habit, like even more so than usual. Before it was social, and all of a sudden I was just like sitting at home. So
I think a lot of people went through that. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I'm getting older, and I started to like really worry about like my health and stuff.
Yeah, because that stuff will just burn you to death long term. Like I know some people can drink till they're like every day until they're like 90 and they're fine. So I guess you never really know, but also realistically, it's definitely not super good for you.
So how have you been through? Like, did you continue working through the pandemic and stuff?
No, I after I stopped working, well, after like Mavericks went through like a big reshuffling and stuff, right before the pandemic, everybody kind of left, and then this place got sold to the current owner. It was just like a big change, and then the pandemic hit, and I took a bunch of time to focus on content creation and music. Then I got another job at a different bar, like a sports bar here in town. Did that for a couple months, but realized that it just wasn't going back to the bars. It's like, oh, cool. It's fun to make money and stuff, but I just like didn't want to be in the environment anymore. And I just found like drinking too much and partying too much with people. And I don't know. It wasn't as much fun coming back to it as it seemed before. And then so I just quit that, did some stuff in the film industry for a while, and then just really started hammering down on doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah, music, content creation, just like going hard on YouTube, TikTok, music promotion, just like building the brand of Andy Negative or whatever.
Yeah, no, I follow you on a lot of platforms. I don't look at TikTok too much because I'm kind of old and shitty, but
that's fair.
Yeah. But I like I always see your videos on Instagram. That's the one I see that pops up the most. And
nice.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I liked the new couple of songs you came out with. I really like the When We Were Young song. I thought
Thank you.
It's super fun. We are the princes and princesses of the glory days. I don't know, it's just energy, and I always was like a big fan of your stuff anyway, like back in like Quinzel, and when you were on the podcast last time with your punk Ropera.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite songs on that was that We're Gonna Party Tonight, where you have the Motley Crue riff at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the take off the Motley Crue. That was like super fun, like that whole thing. I was listening that when I knew you were going to be on the podcast. I went back and kind of boned up on, your catalog on Spotify and stuff like that. And it's good, man. It's super good.
I appreciate that a lot.
But you posted a video afterwards after the When We Were Young came out, and you said you got a lot of backlash from that?
Tons of backlash from that.
What the fuck?
I guess it was mostly TikTok, and I guess it just kind of like there's a lot of young people on TikTok, which is cool. Like that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's just the song was designed to be like a nostalgia, fun kind of like juvenile tune for like people in their late 20s, early 30s to like reminisce about like the way things were or whatever. And it just hit the wrong audience, and everyone got like really pissed off about it because like I guess young people right now don't have fun anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fun's no good. Fun is offensive.
Yeah, they don't like it. They're like, no, this music is supposed to be sad and depressing. And I'm like, yeah, but what? No, I don't want that.
Right.
So that was the majority of it. And like, it's a bit cringy and cheesy, but like I was leaning into that for fun's sake, basically.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't really call it cringy. Like it has its moments of like very colorful, I'll say. But I think I don't know. I think the music stands up for itself, you know what I mean? The whole presentation is entertaining. Like I thought it was great. Like, but I'm a fan. I don't know. I'm biased. I don't know. People suck though sometimes. People just I just chalk it up as you're doing what you want to do and you're presenting yourself the way you want to present, and it really is. I think it's just like a jealousy thing from people. You know what I mean? They say, "Oh, look at this guy doing what he wants to do and having fun doing it, and actually being consistently doing it. I'm just gonna shit on it." You know?
Yeah.
I think it's such a shitty way to be, and it just comes with the territory now. You put anything out there, and 90% of it is just going to be bullshit that comes back, but
Oh yeah.
all the power goes to the 10% that actually enjoy it, and that was the point of it, I suppose, right?
Yeah, and it's like it's one of my friends pointed out to me. He's like, it's always going to be like the vocal minority, right? Like tons of people reach out in DMs, people like the videos and tell me that they're into it. And it's just like, they just don't want to comment because people will come after them in the comments, and they just don't want they're not there for that. But it's starting to turn the other way where I'm seeing like a lot of positivity now, which is super cool.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. And you wrote a kind of a follow-up to the backlash called I Won't Give Up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one too. It's just very you, and I don't know. I respect that. I appreciate it. It's cool, man.
It's funny because like last time, I remember you were saying that you were workshopping some ideas for like doing kids music, for like a Netflix show or something. However many years ago it was.
Yeah, it was just a couple years. Yeah, right before the pandemic. I call everything pre. That was pre.
Yeah. And you weren't the first person to mention it to me. Like I've had other people be like, "Oh, you should do like maybe more like juvenile, kind of like younger friendly stuff." And I feel like I always kind of have that in mind to try to do stuff that's like can appeal to younger people.
There's a huge market, and you have like a great energy for that as well. If you wanted to go down that road, absolutely.
Yeah. And I love cartoons, and I love all the music that gets made from like Disney and that entire thing. And people try to like slag me for it. They're like, "Oh, this is just like Disney punk," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I kind of like that."
Yeah.
Did anything ever end up coming out of that for you?
Well, the writing, the project is still there. Me and Bob Bob and Andy from the Riptides. It was their kind of brainchild, and then we all kind of put our heads together and started just writing songs, and then we'd meet in the middle and we'd say, "What do you got, this and that?" And we ended up with probably 10 songs, I think, in a file.
Nice.
And well, when the pandemic hit, everything just kind of got screeched, and of course halfway through the pandemic things kind of started rolling again with everything. But then we revisited it, and we were looking at getting stuff recorded. But then the Riptides started. We started writing the new Riptides record, and it's just there was a lot. It's one of the things you might relate to this, where it's like it's one of the things on the plate that we're going to get to. It's just it hasn't. It's like the lazy Susan. It hasn't come around again. Yeah. But it's there, and you see it on the far end when it's slowly coming around. And yeah, for sure, we're gonna definitely do something, because I definitely think we have something, like with the music and the ideas that we have for the kids stuff. And I think it would be really cool. I think it would be really fun. And whether it's a success or whether we make any waves with it or money or anything, it doesn't really matter. But just to say you did it, it's such it was such a departure too from like what I'm used to. Like I wrote a song called "The Bravest Bear." It's like about a teddy bear who like protects his sleeping child at night, based off this like old painting of this bear holding this little wooden sword and this big giant dragon coming out from under the bed. And I wrote it's called "The Bravest Bear." I'll send it to you. It's really good. Yeah, well, I think it's really good. But cool. I wrote like the bones of it, and then I sent it to Bob, and Bob kind of refined it, and now it's like this little marchy teddy bear song.
That's cool.
And in Goat, I was writing about dicks and farts and stuff like that. So it's like it was a wonderful change. And who knew you're good at something until you try it, right? So
exactly, and that's it. Is like even just to try it for the sake of doing it, because who knows? Like you said, like you might turn out to be really fun, even though it's not what you typically do or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think a natural progression for me, I'd say, for like us old not ex-punk rockers, but us old punk rock always goes into more of the countryside, you know what I mean? You start playing like the rockabilly or like the folky stuff, and I play a little acoustic here and there, but I basically play punk rock on an acoustic guitar without any drums. They're still just punk songs, but I think the fundamentals of most music is like old country and old traditional country and folk, so it's basically just punk on a guitar, old country folk, whatever. But I don't want to just turn into like that guy who sits at a bar and plays like, this is what I've evolved into, this rockabilly type of, I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. So
I get what you're saying.
yeah, so my point of that whole thing was that it was really neat to, if I am going to look to do something past always playing punk rock, because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing that. Kids music, there's a twist in the road, right?
Yeah, and it can be punk rocky kids music, like it's part of the like zeitgeist now. Like, it's not going to be weird for kids to listen to pop punk and punk rock and stuff because it's been around for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure, you can go on stage and sweat and spit and sing about dicks and farts and shit like that, like I said, but there's different facets, different sides to everybody, and it's just like, try something different. You might like it, like you said. Have you played, I know you played an acoustic show recently?
No. We did a full band show.
Oh, you did a band. Is that still Quinzel?
Yeah. So Quinzel just kind of became Anndy Negative.
Oh, okay.
I really like playing music with those guys, and it's just over the pandemic we couldn't really do much because the bass player Topher, he had a health condition, and the doctors were concerned that if he got COVID it would be really bad.
Oh no!
So we took a pause, and I was so invested in Anndy Negative, and it just got away from me so much that it was like, I just don't personally. I do most of the online marketing and stuff, so it was like I just don't have time to invest into like promoting myself and promoting the band separately. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, I like making music with you guys. Do you want to just be
Anndy Negative,
the same band but under the name Anndy Negative? And they were like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my question. So it is the same, it's just like a name change, or a brand switch, I guess, or
yeah
focus.
And like, we're even still playing some of the same, like, we wrote a bunch of music as Quinzel, and I think it's good music, so we're still playing some of the same songs. It's just a different name for marketing purposes and for ease of my workload in terms of marketing and advertising and putting out content.
Absolutely. Where did you play? Mavericks?
Yeah, we played Mavericks.
I haven't been back to. I haven't seen a live show since before. Like I have opportunity because I see like on social that there's like bands playing and stuff, but I just haven't ventured my way out. Like I haven't made it out.
Yeah.
So how was playing that? Was that the first show you played back?
Yeah. It's been 2.5 years since we played a show, and that was the first one back.
Was it like exhilarating, or was it just like riding a bike? Just like, here we another show.
It was both. I want to say it was both. It was so exciting, and then there's obviously always like a little bit of nerves before you step out on stage, especially doing something that's technically different, because a couple of the songs that never really played for anybody before live or whatever. Yeah. So in a way, you're like, oh, a little stressful and exhilarating, but then at the same time, as soon as those first notes hit, you're jumping around, and then afterwards you're just chatting with people and catching up with old friends, and it's just like fun again.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's it, and there's nothing quite like that endorphin rush that you get.
Yeah.
Jumping around for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, like you said, making dick jokes, or singing out off key or whatever.
Sure. Well, that's all punk rock, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest part for me. I don't know about you, but like I know you. Yeah, I guess we both kept busy behind the scenes during when we couldn't perform in that. But my balance was always I do my like day job, and I guess this comes like or goes for everybody. But you do the day job, and it's all good and stuff like that. But I always had like band practice, and I always had shows and stuff to look forward to. And then it was kind of taken away, and it was just like I had this weird imbalance in my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, where it's just like I missed the camaraderie. I missed hanging out with like the guys and having something to do. And it's like, oh, we got a show coming up, and just I don't know. It was just, I could do all the other stuff. I just couldn't perform or play, and it was just like, wow, this is really tough. So I don't know.
It's funny that you made that comment about like how punk rockers kind of just like devolve into country people.
Yeah.
Over time. I'm reading the Johnny Cash autobiography right now. Mm-hmm. That's like what I do when I wake up in the morning is I sit down and I try to read for like an hour, and right now I'm on like musician biographies. Mm-hmm. And I started listening to like old country songs and stuff too, and I'm like, man, this stuff's really good. Like, should I steal a bunch of these ideas?
Absolutely, you should.
I think I might. So it's funny that you said that, because I'm like, that's like where I am right now.
Yeah, man.
Shit, am I going to become like a country guy? I don't think so.
Well,
the alternative is what they're calling it.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it's true. Like, it's just like the old country stuff, like the old traditional country stuff. It's just like three chords and melody. You know what I mean? And
simple stuff.
And what's like pop or punk? It's just 3 chords and melody, right?
Exactly. Was there three chords in the truth?
Yeah, right. Just just speed up the tempo and put a distortion pedal on anything that friggin' old country, and it's punk. It's fucking awesome.
It's basically punk.
It's the best. Yeah. Those are the best melodies, though. You know what I mean? It's just like so simple.
Well, I like that there's nothing to hide behind either, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, this is it. There's not, you can add production value and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like people are gonna either remember the melody and the words that you're saying, or that's it. Like, they won't.
Mm-hmm. Well, whenever I write, like I'm still like the sloppiest guitar player ever, but like I usually just write really simple chords, and I try and my best to just write good lyrics, catchy, like hooks and stuff. That's the thing with when we were young, that Princes and Princesses line, it literally sticks in my brain. Like, it sticks in my brain. Amazing. Yeah, and I'm not just saying that to say that either. Like, I get annoyed by it. So I guess I have you to blame for that.
That's how I know I've done it right.
But yeah, it's cool. I don't know. Writing, I found it really hard over the pandemic too. I found that I wasn't super inspired by a lot, or and you can say, "Oh, I'm not inspired," but it wasn't. It was just I was in a weird lethargic kind of state of mind, I think. So nothing really. People will ask me too, I guess through the pandemic you must have came out with like tons of stuff, and it's like, no, I really didn't. Nothing, like a handful of stuff, but for the time that went by, not really. Nothing.
Yeah, that's the waves thing, right? Like, inspiration comes in waves or whatever. It's just like, sometimes you're in a lull, the tide's out, and then sometimes it's just like, we're drowning, there's so many ideas, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you experience the same kind of thing, but that's kind of what it sounds
Absolutely.
like.
Absolutely. I kind of went kind of left on stuff. Like, I wrote a rap song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it actually turned out really fun, because I have this like thing I do, this habit, not habit, but just like pastime. You ever get tired of music when you're just sick of looking for stuff so you're driving or like listening, and it's just like, I don't know what I want to listen to. I'm bored of this, I'm bored of that. And like, you listen to something, you shut it off because you're like, meh. Sometimes I'll just like, I'll go on Spotify and I'll like search rap beats, and it just plays in the car, and I'll just be driving down the street. Like, I don't have any words. I'll just, because I can't like freestyle, but I just like, it's super fun. It's super fun. And one day I came home and just started jotting down all these like lyrics and stuff, and I made a rap song. I'm like a rapper now. Yeah, it was fun though. It was super fun.
You did it. You've arrived.
I did.
You're now.
Like, I woke up
a hip hop sensation.
Yeah, I woke up. I wasn't a rapper. I went to sleep that night a rapper.
You were a rapper. Yeah. That's impressive.
Thanks, man.
When you're writing your ideas, like, how much editing do you do of your ideas, or do you kind of like get an idea down, you're like, okay, cool, that's like kind of a neat chorus idea, and then just like move on, or do you come back and like tweak and tweak and tweak?
Oh, it's always tweaking. You never finish. Cool. Really. You almost have to kind of like stop yourself and say, well, that's it, because I have stuff that I listen to today, and I'd be like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm still changing it. What about you?
So I tweak like crazy. I'm such an editor. Like, I'll write it and then throw it in the garbage. If I'm like, you know what, maybe that one word isn't quite right, let's scrap the whole thing and start over.
Yeah.
I'm the worst for that. I mean, like, I know how to call it. Like, I've taught myself how to be like, okay, this is as good as it's gonna be, but I'm definitely like a big editor.
Yeah. Are you super, like, obviously you're not, I won't say hard on yourself, but you're critical with your stuff. Like, are you hard on yourself too, where it's like this, where you're good at starting over, press and reset on things?
I don't think I'm like crazy hard on myself. I think it's more just like, okay, cool, that either could be better or it's not where I want it to be. So either shelve it and come back to it later, or just move on if the idea is not working. And then I like to I'm trying to start to work with more like other people who are better than me, so I can be like, hey, here's the idea. And they're like, oh, this is good, but it's not, like, you could say this in a better way, or we get to the same idea in a catchier, simpler way that's going to stick in people's head or whatever.
Gotcha. I can relate to that big time, what you just said there about writing with someone else, because in Goat and, well, through my life, I always sat down with an acoustic guitar and I'd come up with a song, and I've said before where I'm just like the king of half songs. I'm sure we all are.
Yeah.
If you could make a career off half songs, I'd be, living in Beverly Hills right now. But I've been writing with Bob from the Riptides, and he writes everything the Riptides is, well, aside from a handful of songs. He's basically the brain behind the Riptides music, right? And he is the master of no wasted space. And I find when I wrote, I had all this kind of weight and baggage and stuff that wouldn't really need to be there. Like, how do I get from the verse to the chorus in 2 steps instead of 4 steps? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Bob is so good at just trimming the fat and starting in perfect. There's no wasted space in there. And it's just like this perfect little catchy song. And it's only 2 minutes. And it feels like, wow, there was a lot going on in there, but it was just so perfectly kind of paced and perfectly. And I think that's the trick to it, right?
I think there's a lot of value in being able to do that. Like, especially with like everyone's attention spans just getting shorter and shorter. And, you know, there's a space obviously for like long-winded, thought out, really esoteric, musically divergent music. But I think like if you're trying to write what I'm going to just like say is like poppy music, because like even punk rock or whatever, we're all just trying to write pop songs. Like, you need to be able to, like you said, just trim the fat, get it in, get out, get the idea across, and move on.
That's I've taken like huge lessons, not that he's trying to teach, but just from observing and learning from it, right? Like, he'll send me something and I'll just be like, that's okay, but one thing too is that it seems like he always like writes the chorus first and then he builds around the chorus. And I never used to do that. I would literally start with the first word of the first verse, right? And just kind of build it from there. So it's pretty neat if you just have a line, like let's say you have a song title or a chorus title. And then you build the chorus, build the big part first, and then you just kind of build the foundation around it. It's very, very, very interesting. Songwriting is very interesting.
Apparently that's a big thing in Nashville. It's just called like top-down writing, where you come up with like a tagline, and that's your, okay, I'm gonna start from here, and everything I write is gonna be around the title.
Wow,
that's what I've heard anyway. I mean, I haven't been to Nashville, but that's what I'm told.
Oh, I've been to Nashville. Nice. Me and the Riptides. Cool. I think we had a show in Nashville.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, we went to Sun Records, where Elvis recorded his like
and Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I have a picture in the bathroom of the picture in the bathroom at the Sun Records building, and I'm kind of pulled back, and there's a picture on the wall of Elvis like with no shirt on, and he's like washing his like face in the sink, and the picture is taken from where I'm standing. So I'm standing taking a picture where Elvis was, but you see the picture of Elvis on the wall that was taken from the picture where I'm standing. It's like this weird, like, fourth dimensional, third perspective kind of time lapse thing. I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
That's meta. That's a deep photo right there.
Yeah, and we also went to Jack White's Third Man.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Studio and place there. That was cool. I was holding his Grammy. It's just in his like lobby. There's his Grammy.
Just sitting there, you can just touch
it.
I
was holding it. He's like, you want to touch? You know, he wasn't there, but they're like, yeah, can I pick up the? Yeah, go ahead, pick the Grammy up. It's fine. Just don't leave with it. You know.
That's it. I'm sure that would be the only concern. It's not like you're gonna break the Grammy, right?
No. It's not like I can pass it off for my own. It does say Jack White on the front. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What's next for you? What do you got on the horizon?
Oh, let's see. I'm putting together, like, I'm just finishing editing up the music video for I Won't Give Up, which I'm pretty stoked about. It's going to be really silly, which is, I feel like, pretty on brand for me.
That's awesome.
I've got, like, the rest of my songs for the year done, and I'm just going to roll those out slowly. Kind of like every 2 months I put out a new tune and then just, like, bludgeon people over the head with it.
I think that's the way to do it now. Like, you can release a whole record, but it's just like, man, why blow it all in one shot, right? Do it over the course of I get you, man.
Yeah, so that's my main focus. And then, like I said before, it's more just like I'm trying to find myself in a position where I'm collaborating, writing with people that are more talented than me or have different skill sets than I have, so I can just like learn a lot and try to get a better end product, because like I feel like there's always space to improve when writing and creating music, and the only way to really improve, from my point of view, is to like find people that are just better or do different things better than you do and work with them. So I'm entering like what I'm hoping to be a very large collaboration period in my career, which is very exciting.
That's super exciting, and it's amazing. Like I said, I'd never really written with anybody before, but when you start, it's amazing what gets pulled out of you as well. You just come up with these like, wow, I never thought of it that way, or wow, I'm going to try that, and then you kind of incorporate it with your own kind of style, and there's always room to grow and get better, right? And
that's the thing with you. Once you start reading that's why I'm reading all these autobiographies and stuff, and just finding out about all these like great musicians who like influenced the course of music. And you find out that like in a lot of cases, whether it was a co-writer, whether it was their manager, or literally just the other members of the band, like the Beatles and stuff, it's like having somebody else to like make them stop and rethink things or make it better to convince them, always ended up making everything better in the long term.
Yeah, like there's something to be said about like the lone wolf who locks himself in a hotel room and writes a record, but it's awesome too. But just to open up that door and just kind of let people in, it's just like it can't get, you know. I'm sure there's cases where it just makes things worse, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Oh, I doubt it.
You know, it's you find, and like what you said, you find the right people and the people that you're comfortable with and that you gel with, and it's not just, you know, throw people in a room and see what comes up with. You find the people, and you can't go wrong. You really can't.
Exactly. And that's it. Like, you hope to just work your way up to working with the best people, and then or the people that are the most fun to work with is another thing.
And then when you're sick of that, lock yourself back in the hotel room. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You always have the option.
I'm still locked in the hotel room all the time anyway. So I was like, may as well like just open the door every once in a while and see what happens.
That's awesome, dude. Is there anything else you'd like to comment on or say or promote or anything? I'm gonna put all your links in like the post of the actual podcast, but
the thing that I'm pretty stoked on right now is just that I'm in a place where people seem to be. Some people don't, but a lot of people seem to just be enjoying what I'm doing. And I don't want to be like, you know, obviously listen to my music, awesome. You want to watch my videos, cool. But really right now I'm in a position where I'm just trying to connect with people, you know, because I'm on this like weird little journey, and I just want people to be able to watch, enjoy, feel like they're involved, you know. So pretty much anybody that just wants to connect, reach out, leave a comment, listen, whatever, wherever you find me, it doesn't matter, because I'm always keeping an eye on everything. So anybody that just wants to join in and watch the show and hopefully be entertained, I'm pretty happy.
Well, not much to add to that. That was well said. And hey, man, I'm on board. So always have been, always been a big fan.
Yeah, I think you were my first podcast ever. So you always remember your first. Buddy.
Hey, well, there you go. I'm honored. But thank you so much for doing this. And like I said, I'll keep an eye out, and I'll continue to be a fan, and I'll keep in touch for sure, bud. Awesome. So good luck with everything. All right, take care.
You too. Later.
I won't give up, Mama always said. If you got nothing nice to say, then shut your mouth. Fail, you can tell me to quit. I'm too old, I'll never make it. If I had any sense, I'd just stop now. But I'm not listening. You can knock me down, I
Yeah, so I'd like to thank Andy Negative for being on the podcast. The 2 songs you heard were When We Were Young and I Won't Give Up by Andy Negative. I will be posting links in the when I post the actual podcast, so you can find Andy. You can listen to his stuff, you can like his stuff, and you can follow him because, like I said, he works really hard for you. So give a little back. Anyway, if you need to get a hold of me, you can always reach out to egoinvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can go to Spotify, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iTunes, blah, blah, blah. Anywhere you find your favorite stuff, I'll be there. Just search Ego and Vice. I'm the only one. Trademark. Motherfucking trademark. Anyway, thanks a lot for showing up, and that's it for this week. But stay safe, and we'll see you later. Bye.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.